Hi guys, welcome to lesson 5 where we're going to finish up our slider by adding our stock image. We're then going to add our learn more button, our text, and we're going to get a little bit more creative and we're going to add some lighting effects. We're going to do lighting effects for the stock image and for our corner caps. So something different. Okay, so you need to, I'll show you where you can get this from. If you go to your web browser and if you type in 123rf.com, take you to this website, and then if you type in the ID number 12962077, take you straight to this image that I use. Now you're going to need to register with this website and it's going to cost you to download this stock image, but you know, it is a good one and it really finished up the slider quite nicely. Failing that, just find an image that similar to this, similar colour, similar background, and you're away. Excellent. So bring that into Photoshop then. I brought mine in. First thing I'm going to want to do is to unlock this, so I'll just drag the lock down into the bin, bottom of the layers palette. Then I'm going to hold down Control key and I'm going to click the thumbnail and the layers palette to bring this up as a selection. Then I'm going to go up to Edit, down to Copy Merged. Then I'll go to my slider. I'm going to open up my slider group, locate my inner layer. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to hold down the Control key and I'm going to click on that layer there, that mask, and then I'm going to go out to Select, down to Modify, and I'm going to contract this, and I'm going to contract this 5 pixels. So okay that, and let's put that selection just inside our border. Then with that layer active there, we go to Edit, Paste Special, and Paste Into, and there's our image. So we Control T on a keyboard to bring up the free transform tool, and we can scale this down accordingly. Scale it down to how we feel, how we think it's going to look. And okay, that's good enough for me. Okay that. Then I'm going to lock this this image to its mask. So if I ever move this around, that's not going to go or ski with it. And I'm going to rename this image as well, even though you can see what it is. Keep it all tidy. So next up then will be to add our learn more button. So what we're going to do is obviously above our image, so make sure that's active, and then we're going to choose the rounded rectangle tool, make sure shape layers is selected, and it doesn't matter about foreground, but I'm going to set this to white anyway so I can see it. And it's going to drag out a button shape, something like that. And what I've gone and done, I've gone and left the styles on again, haven't I? So if you go up to the options bar here, turn off them styles, and I'll just clear these as well. To right click and clear layer styles. Need to open up our layer styles now on that anyway. So right click on that, bring up the layer styles, and we're going to give this a gradient overlay. Open up the gradient editor, and we change this to all the threes, and we'll change this one to all the C's. Okay, that what we need to do then is to give this an inner shadow. Let's click inner shadow. We're going to change the color of this to all the C's. And then we're going to bump up the opacity to 100%. Going to change the angle to 90 degrees, and then we are going to set the distance to 1, 0, 0. This gives that nice little top edge to that. Then we're going to give this a drop shadow. We're going to set this to black, like it is, and then we're going to turn the opacity down to 35%. Change the angle to 90 degrees again, so that's right at the bottom, and then set the distance to 5, which is 0.5. That's it. It's okay. Excellent. In fact, I might actually increase the opacity slightly, yeah, to 50%. So that's our button done. We just need to add our learn more text and our arrow. So learn more text, I've used Arial, so just use the horizontal type tool, select Arial, and we want this to be 19 pixels. So open up your characters palette, change that to 19 pixels, and we're going to change the tracking on this as well. So here you can just click on that, the AV, and we'll slide that down to minus 80, no, minus 75. So you can open up the drop down there, minus 75, and just click in there and type out learn more. Now what we're going to do now is going to position that central, and then we're going to give it a bold, and we'll change that to uppercase. And lastly, open up our custom shape tool. We'll locate our arrow that we got before, which is still selected, and then we'll use the same color as this dot here. So open up your color picker and just change that to that one using the eyedropper tool. Shape layer selected, and we'll just drag out an arrow. Excellent. We'll rename this arrow. We'll rename this BTN, and then I'm going to group all this together and call this learn more BTN. Excellent, that should all be in there. Brilliant. Then we're going to just give this arrow a drop shadow and an inner shadow. So open up your layer styles on that and just do drop shadow. We'll do our usual one. We'll change it to white. Go 1, 0, 0. Turn your opacity down to about 25. Type that in and give this an inner shadow of 1, 0, 1, and that's all okay. Okay, there's our learn more button done. Might need to decrease the length of that. It's Control T just to bring that in a bit more, and then move the arrow slightly in a bit more. Splendid. So what we need to do then is I'm just going to move that down. So now I've got that grouped, I can select the whole group and just shift that down slightly. Then I'm going to add our text above this, and we've written UI slider design for Tuts Plus. So we've used a font here called Lobster. Now if you go to Google Fonts, you can find that. Let's quickly open up that and just search Lobster. It's quite a common font nowadays, and you can add that to your collection, then download your collection and install that into your system. That's the one I used. So with the horizontal type tool, I'm going to select find my Lobster font. There she goes, and I'm going to type UI design for Tuts Plus. We're going to open up my character set. I'm going to bump that right up to 44, 45, 44 do. I'm going to set the tracking back to normal. I'm going to take away the uppercase. Let's just have it bold. Actually, I'll take away the boldness as well. And then I'm going to chop that down. So it's I design for Tuts Plus. UI slider design for Tuts Plus. Something missing, and then to chop that in half there. Brilliant. Just going to change the colour of this then to all the sixes. I'm going to give this the same layer styles as we did for our arrow, and all I'm going to do is going to open that up. I'm going to right click on the FX icon again like we did before. I'm going to copy layer styles, and just going to right click on that and paste that in. So if we take a step back at this and look at what we've done, we've kept to the UI design principles, where we've kept this simple, the kiss effect, keep it simple, stupid. we've made this aesthetically pleasing. It's nothing too loud. There's no loud colours. It's all blends in nicely. It's effective because it's easy to use, and we've kept to the UI design patterns, because most sliders have left and right navigation arrows, even sometimes on hover. And we've covered that in both angles here. We've got the navigation dots at the bottom as well. So we've covered all them principles, and that's why we've created a really nice looking slider. Okay, so what we can do now then, we can add some subtle lighting effects to this. It's pretty straightforward. Just above our image, just create a new layer. We'll just call these, call them effects, why not? And then select our brush tool, increase the size to 80 and bring the hardness right down, and then set the foreground to white. D and X on your keyboard to set the foreground to white, and I'm just going to click in there a couple of times, and then we'll increase the size a little bit more corner here and come right down low, some little ones at the bottom here. Okay, then we can do the same for our corner caps. So we'll just go up to the corner top of the corner cap. So what we'll do, we'll increase our document size so we can see what we're doing. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up our corner cap, the one we're going to do it on, which is this one here. Create a new layer above that, and it's going to click a few times here. Then what we're going to do, we're going to choose the smudge tool. So smudge tool is here, look. And then we're going to make sure that sample all layers is not selected. I'm going to turn the strength up to about 8%, and we're going to hold down our shift key, and we're just going to click and drag up. Then we're going to do that one down, and across. So there we go, got a little bit of a lighting effect on that. And we can do exactly the same at the bottom. Instead we can just copy that one. We can make a copy of this by dragging it down into the new layer icon. Make a copy of that and use the select the move tool, and we'll just click that down and position that. I think it'll be this top one. Yep. Just drag that into that group. Open the group up and push that above that so you can see it right at the top. Then move that down onto that. And let's call this effect. Excellent. So that's our slider done. Let's take a look at this. Let's close all these off. And there we have it. Nice looking slider. So I hope you enjoyed this part of the course. I learnt some new techniques. And next part we'll be looking at how we can create a nice retro looking menu and then badges. So until then, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next part.